Hello and welcome back to Swinging at Shins, Premier League podcast from across the pond. You have me in my business attire today. I had one meeting that lasted 8 hours.
Gross.
It was a thing. It was a big, heavy thing.
That's not right.
For breakfast, we had Uncommon Grounds bagels, and for lunch, we had Uncommon Grounds bagels.
That's right, though.
Which is why I'm eating Oreos and drinking something, because self-care.
Yes.
Anyway, I am joined by Aaron. We can't say as always anymore. We got a little bit of a rotation going on, which is nice. Takes the pressure off. No Woodsy today. Joined by Aaron. We're going to review match day 8, go into match day 9. But first, obviously, we must go into what has to be maybe the defining moment of the season. That might be a bit much.
I think that, a little bit over.
I don't know. We look back on this, but anyway. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. Mm-hmm. They have finally done it. After 12 straight defeats, what was it, 7 years? It's been like 7 years since we beat them. Mikel Arteta was a player.
Yeah.
On the field the last time that they beat Man City in a Premier League match. And now Arsenal has done it. Off the strength of a 87th minute winner by Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, Gabby with the legs. Just loves scoring.
Gabby with the legs.
I thought, honestly, that match was a very much I know people thought it was a snooze fest because it was 0-0 for so long and they were expecting more goals out of each team, but this match was more of a boxing style match where, punch for punch they went, and it just took a defining deflection in order to get that go ahead goal in the 87th minute there.
My heart says that thing was going into the bottom bin.
You think so? You don't think?
My head says that Arsenal can't be that lucky.
I think Ake's head also said the same thing.
That was true. And, this is one of those, people are going to say it was boring, and for a large part of the match, it was boring because nothing happened. And to that I say, great job, Mikel Arteta. And great job, Ben White and William Saliba and Zinchenko and Big Gabby for making nothing happen. Mm-hmm. There was a couple scares early on. Kanji probably should have scored. Declan Rice headed it off the line. Oh, by the way, great job, Declan Rice. Declan Rice, huge in this match. Absolutely huge. But Arsenal now has a quality of team where they can do this to City. Not saying they're going to do this every time. Not saying that Arsenal has now overtaken City and it doesn't matter anymore. City's a shot. I'm not saying any of that. But the fact that Arsenal is now good enough to do this to City and has pretty much done this to City twice already. Community Shield being what it is, which again, 2024 Community Shield winners, you'll never sing that.
Well, but also, if you're Harry Kane, you take that trophy too. So
that is true. Harry Kane would take that trophy. But I think this proves that there's a maturity to Arsenal that they were lacking last year, that they're capable of getting it. And this to me has the same kind of launching pad that almost a year to the day, we beat Liverpool at home, another team that was just our boogeyman. Mm-hmm. We beat them at home, and it was that very big match, and it was a late winner, and people talk about maybe Arsenal got a little bit lucky, but for the longest time, people talked about Arsenal not being able to get across the line. And that was fair. But now that we do manage to get across the line, all I can think is they don't ask how, they ask how many. And this was 1-0 to the Arsenal.
And it's 3 points.
It's 3 points.
I'm going to play a little devil's advocate on this side. Does Arsenal win if City is fully healthy? They have Rodri. And I know healthy is the wrong word for Rodri. Where Rodri isn't suspended.
No. If he was mentally stable.
Okay. They have Kevin De Bruyne. And I don't know who else was really out for that match.
I don't know. KDB and Rodri were the two. They were really the two.
Biggest.
If you can't get goals going with
Holland,
Julian Alvarez and Holland, I don't really kind of want to hear it. B, Kevin De Bruyne is our kryptonite, so no, we probably lose. Because I don't know what happened, man. It's like that. The only thing he learned from his time at Chelsea the first time around was to hate Arsenal, I guess, because he loves to turn it on. But also, B, we did it without arguably our best player, and I think that plays a huge role. Without Bukayo Saka, we were still able to win this. And if we had full strength across the board, and they were down 2 very, very key players, I could see teams being like, all right, yeah, you got it. But over the course of a season, we were also missing key guys. Martinelli played a half. He didn't even start.
Yep.
Thomas Partey played less than a half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had some guys that were out too. And also, no one brought up the fact that we had to start Rob freaking Holding at the Etihad last year over Saliba. And I think losing Saliba for the Arsenal team last year was more important than City losing De Bruyne or even Rodri.
Is it Saliba and his name just escaped me? Kurt Zuma are. I want to throw Konza in there too. Are the 3 players who haven't been dribbled past this season?
I'm not 100% sure about Konza, but I know that Saliba has definitely not been dribbled past. But again, it's 8 matches into the season. Arsenal has played some very good competition in that, though.
My point is that Saliba is that cog in that defense that, where if Arsenal had him last season, we might be talking about a different champion instead of City.
No, I think that's fair. I really do. Arsenal ended up losing the league by 5 points.
Yeah.
And City took 6 points off Arsenal.
Yep.
Hey, the math isn't that hard. The reason why I think Saliba is so big is because people talked about forever. We had, between Tony Adams and Ray Parler and Patrick Vieira, we had like some of just the meanest SOBs that you had to run through if you wanted to score. And then we didn't.
Well,
we just didn't have that.
You don't think per Mert?
Yeah, and that's why we won some FA Cups. But we lost all the physicality. I think it was the 33rd minute, but somewhere around the 30-minute mark where there was that break and Saliba and Holland came shoulder to shoulder and Holland ended up like just rolling on the floor and Saliba was still running after the ball. That kind of physicality. Also, not a foul. He didn't foul him. It wasn't dirty. He just outmanned him. He understood the assignment, and the assignment was don't let Holland beat me to that ball.
Yeah.
And if we come into contact with each other, make sure it hurts him more than me. And that's exactly what he did. We don't, even now with Timber out, Timber was doing that. But last year we didn't have that. And this year with Timber out, we don't have it.
So
the other thing I want to bring up is Mikel Arteta is, and I've talked about his subs not being great.
Mm-hmm.
The goal was Thomas Partey to Tomiyasu to Kai Havertz to Gabriel Martinelli. All 4 were subs.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
I mean, it wouldn't if we're looking at it, Martinelli's not subbing like that. So I get in this standpoint that the subbing idea works. But that would be
he wouldn't have been a sub.
Yeah, exactly.
But and that's true. But it also does play the depth because the reason why Martinelli came on at the half instead of later when he would have been a sub, but still, was because Trossard had a hamstring injury.
Oh, that's a bummer for him.
But the depth that we now have, that those 4 guys were on the bench and came on, and against City, and it was 0-0 when they came on.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Partey on the bench again for a City match last season, and he comes on in the 70th minute. It's not 0-0.
Yeah, we
have let goals in. There's no doubt.
Or you're significantly ahead, which doesn't happen very often. Anyway, so yeah, you're behind by 3 at least.
So I think that was a big stepping point, and it was a big hey, we're here. Not we've won, not we're better than you, but you're starting to see an Arsenal team that for years was this far apart. And last year, people thought maybe that they were this far apart, but really they're this far apart. But now,
you cut the half and half again.
Yeah, and it's one of those. You lost Rodri and you lost Kevin De Bruyne. Last year there were times we lost Gabriel Jesus for 4 months.
Yep.
We lost Thomas Partey for a while. We lost Saliba for a while. We lost Tomiyasu for a while. And everyone said, and they were right, Arsenal's depth, they're not going to be able to keep up. Well, we're starting to have the depth where we can keep up.
I loved the narrative early on, too, when they went and bought Timber. They went and bought what the heck they go out and buy? Oh, Declan, obviously. Yeah. I
was like, who are you trying to think of other than Declan Rice? But yes.
Timber, Declan, and then they bought somebody else, too. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
like I said, my brain
is Kai Havertz. There we go. I just did it.
How did yep. No, we both forgot that.
He's been there so long and criticized for so much. It's like he's an Arsenal mainstay.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely could be it. I wanted him to score so bad. Kai Havertz's song is amazing.
I haven't heard it.
60 minutes. Oh, you haven't?
No.
It's Waka Waka.
Oh, okay.
So it's Tasmanana. Hey, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I like it. But they went and addressed the depth and pieces that they need for subbing off or subs to come on, so and my thought was, if City does this, nobody bats an eye. But Arsenal does it, drops 200 million, or even Chelsea for that matter. They drop 1.4 billion, and everybody freaks out about it because that's a gigantic number, but nobody's like, oh my goodness, Chelsea do it again. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. No, I agree.
It's a lot of things. It's weird how narrative. It's weird and fun.
It's always a narrative.
How it twists and turns in each team.
It's fun. It's also the most frustrating thing.
Oh sure, because
there's so many times where it's like, guys, come on. How are we even having this conversation?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Arsenal went through the Banner Club era, and that's what it will be known as. We were a Banner Club. We really were, and it was only because of the way that we got bad.
Yeah.
United has been just as bad, if not worse.
I would say they're.
But the way they did it was somehow fine, and they never really finished 8th, and of course there wasn't the whole. So when Spurs started finishing higher than Arsenal, that was like a thing that never happened. When Liverpool started finishing higher than United, it's like, well,
okay,
it's Liverpool coming back to form,
Right.
But the thing, I mean, and it recirculated again. There was a couple Man United YouTubers and they were talking about how Arteta is more likely to get fired than he is to win any trophy. And they can say that because Arsenal's a Banner Club, and it's like Eric Ten Hag will not see Christmas. I don't see how that's even possible.
At this rate, I don't. I think that's true, and I think for the same for Poch too. I know I said that might not be true, but I don't know. They're ruthless with their managers, so I couldn't.
I don't see. So United beat Brentford 2-1. I was going to talk about Liverpool or Spurs next, but we'll get to Spurs, and we'll do Spurs their justice because, again, they did wonderful, but we'll talk about them. God, I hate to say that. That's how good Ange is. I don't even hate Ange. Yeah. It's amazing to me. I've hated every single Spurs manager, but somehow Ange, I'm like, no, he's cool.
He's chill.
Daniel Levy will destroy him, but so what? Anyway, United beat Brentford 2-1. In the 89th minute, it was still 1-0 Brentford. I went to the bathroom and came back, and it was 2-1 United. I had no idea what the heck happened.
I believe it. It must have been a wild experience.
It really was. Somehow Scott McTominay is the hero. I've been the one saying that McFred's the problem with their midfield forever. Maybe it is. Maybe Scott McTominay is actually a number 9.
I mean, those goals were gorgeous that he put in. It was
The
just put it
second
tough.
one, Brentford was really flat-footed.
Sure.
They were deflated from letting it be, from making 3 points become 1 point, and then they just let 1 point become no points.
Yeah.
But he made it happen. I will give him credit. He absolutely made it happen. I fully believe, though, that if he doesn't score those 2 goals, Eric Ten Hag doesn't see the other side of the international break.
Oh, interesting.
I really do. I don't.
I think they would have given him till the next international break. Personally, hold on. I want to see what the schedule for United is at this.
They would be at 9 points. They would be 14th. They would be 14th with 9 points.
Okay, and United would turn around and play. Let's see. So
Do
they
you
have
think
Sheffield
the Glazers
United.
know how to look at a schedule?
No, they don't even know how to use the internet. They have Sheffield United, then they have City, and then Fulham. I'm just doing Premier League. I'm not doing international cups or anything like that because they do have that in between. Then they have Fulham, and when is the next break? They have Luton Town. I think that is the next international break. Yeah. So then they would go. So it's Sheffield United, City, Fulham, Luton Town.
They have FC Copenhagen twice.
Champions League.
Yep, and I don't know. 6 points.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy.
Maybe 4. Maybe 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if they only get away with 2. They're not even playing good at home anymore. And that was their bread and butter.
They're going to get annihilated in the Manchester Derby on the 29th.
Oh, God, yeah. And then they play Newcastle. That's squeaked in there, by the way.
Yep.
For the EFL Cup. This is...
I can see them winning that because I can see them going out full strength. And Newcastle not. And I have lost Aaron.
No,
he's come back.
It was real quick.
There he is. I could see that happening. Fulham away.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh God, this is just. Whew.
It's tough.
Anyway. We missed something with the Arsenal Manchester City game.
I was trying to squeak it in there when you said the contact between Haaland and Saliba, and you just kept on going. I was like, okay, so that's fine. I didn't really want to talk about the PGMOL anyway, so
I don't either. All I want to say is on this pod, the first one I firmly think was a red card. I know Aaron doesn't. I think the reason why it's a red card, and this is, I don't know when we stopped caring. It was from behind. He practically went through his legs. It was studs up from behind, nowhere near the ball. If that is not the definition of dangerous and reckless play, I don't know what we're doing.
I understand. I can see both sides, and I'm not going to argue whether it was a red or not. It's definitely a cardable offense. There's no two ways about that. The second one is one I want to argue, and that one is a yellow. That one's a certain yellow to red. Kovacic should be off. And
it was almost the same play. Exactly. It was not quite as egregious, but it was still from behind, studs up, nowhere near the ball, took a guy out of the ankles.
Yep.
No, it wasn't even clipped. That was studs into ankles.
And I think there's 2 problems with what happened. And it's Michael Oliver's fault. Because it should come down to, is that our fouls, whether you're on a yellow, whether you're in the box, are they fouls? Are they cards? It shouldn't matter where you are on the field, how many cards you have. It's a foul. It's a yellow.
How recently one happened.
That exactly.
Michael Oliver once gave Gabby double yellows on the same play. Gabby did a foul. Martinelli performed a foul. Advantage was played. He chased down the ball and fouled the second guy. Was shown double yellows and was given off by Michael Oliver.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Oh, it happened. It absolutely happened. I'd show it, but we recently found out how well how well the copyright works on YouTube. And that's why we're not going to do it. But it happened. You can look it up. It was literally, he points and he's like, that was a yellow. And then he points behind him. He's like, that was a yellow too. And pulls out and gives him a red. And it's Michael Oliver. So it's not like he's not one of those guys who wouldn't give you 2 yellows back to back. He literally did it in the same play. In the same stoppage, he gave him 2 yellows.
Yep.
We talked about this a little bit when you came over the week after. We're not... Woodsy wears the tinfoil hat on this pod, not us. However, I do think that there is subconscious bias that can come in when you are being paid by the same people that own one of the teams. There's a reason why you can't even be from the city, just from the area. Mm-hmm. All the referees in the Premier League are like from the Midlands and other random places around England, because you can't ref a Prem game and still have... Sorry, my cat started to knock my clouds down. But not have any biases. Every team in London despises every other team in London. And as much as I would love to say that I would referee a game against Chelsea or Tottenham fairly, I know that what a yellow card would be against a foul of one of their players is higher. Yeah. You know, in the moment, you can't choose how you see something. We know this about eyewitnesses. Mm-hmm. But now I'm going to let you make money and be flown out midweek, ref a match midweek, make who knows how much money. I don't know what a referee makes for money, but I bet they play double or triple because they're trying to get people in. It's an inconvenience.
Yep.
I'm taking out the middle of your week. You're coming over here instead. It is a competition. I mean, that's how they got the players. We're going to assume that they're getting the refs any differently. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't think they said, oh, and by the way, no one gets a yellow card against Arsenal. Like, I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that there was any shady briefcase. But the intent's still there.
It's
the intent's still there.
It's clouded your mind. Well, so
I don't know how you do it.
I had a thought. I saw this post a while back, and this back when the Saudi league was buying every player left and right, and they wanted to bring in Michael Oliver, and I think that's what you're semi-alluding to. And I think they were going to pay him gobs of money to come.
Well, he did ref a game the Wednesday before the Arsenal Man City game.
Gotcha.
He did ref a game over there.
That's crazy. So yeah, like is my tinfoil? I have the foil on the floor, but I'm not wearing it just yet.
Yeah, it's over there, and I think that's the problem. I don't think that there's a vast conspiracy.
No, I think most.
But all these things add up. And this is what happens with people with money. Yeah. People with money have always been able to get away with more stuff, and it's not even that they're willing to spend. You know, there's that saying that a fine is not a fine. A fine is just the cost it takes to park somewhere.
Yeah.
As long as they're not going to boot your car or tow it, you can park anywhere you want. It just depends on how much you're going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
But they get because they have money. It's the human psyche. It's the way we're built. I don't understand exactly what happened with Bruno not getting a second yellow.
Yeah, that one was weird for sure.
I don't know. Maybe the ref did the same thing. I don't know.
I don't remember honestly how that match went down, but I know Woodsy was saying that it should have been 2 yellows, and I agree with him. I don't remember it well enough, but I remember the conversation. And I remember that the 2 fouls that I saw should have been.
No, it was 2 yellows. It was 2 yellows, and I wonder if this is an overcorrection by the PGMOL. You know, you give out 2 red cards in the Liverpool Spurs match.
Yep.
Well, we need to not give out so many red cards. No, you need to give out red cards for the right time. Exactly. You need to card fouls accordingly. We don't want to affect games. A guy taking people out from behind and not getting sent off is still affecting games.
That's what refs are supposed to be there, though. They're supposed to officiate the match in the manner in which the rules are written. So already they're supposed to be there to affect the game.
Yep. You're supposed to have a corrective action on the game. That's what you were supposed to do.
You are the standard deviation.
Yep. It's the whole, and again, I'm gonna bring it back to baseball because referees in soccer and umpires in baseball, it's very similar to me. An umpire in baseball never wants to negatively affect the game, but his strike zone is his strike zone.
Yes.
And there is not a baseball player or a baseball fan, a true fan, on the face of God's green earth that won't tell you that they don't necessarily care what the strike zone is. They just care that the strike zone's the same in the first inning as it is in the ninth. That's how it is with fouls.
Yep.
I think tackling someone ankle high with studs up from behind is reckless and dangerous play. You look at the same tackle and you say, I don't agree. That's fine. And I understand that there will always be a little bit of interpretation. But if the first one's a yellow card, the second one is a yellow card. And that's where it's like, I don't care that he's on a second yellow. And you brought it up just a second ago. It's the exact same thing. If it's a foul in the midfield and it's a foul in the box, I don't care that they get a penalty out of it. That's how the rules are set up. And if we want to change how the rules are, that's fine. But that's how the rules are set up in this idea of just, well, it's okay. And again, it comes from the same thing of how referees would like to manage games the good old way. But the problem with the good old way is not that it was bad. In a lot of ways, it was good. It's not even that it's old. I am not one of those guys who thinks that new is always better and the old way sucks. You didn't have 27 high-definition cameras pointed at the thing so that you got to know exactly what happened. It happened in an instant. Someone was filming it with a potato 100 yards away, and maybe you know, maybe you don't. I mean, again, famous play in baseball, Jackie Robinson steals home. Every time I watch that play, I think a different outcome. I watch it once, oh, he's safe. Watching it, oh, he's definitely out. Like, but it was fun to argue over, but no one could tell the difference. Now we know. We can see it every individual way. You have to get it right. And the interpretations have to go out the window. You absolutely have to get it right. And going back to what happened with Jones in the Liverpool match, anyone who thinks that's a red card hasn't played soccer. It
was a very unfair red.
And if that's a red, Kovacic is definite. He's redded twice. He's on a purple card. I don't even know what that would be.
Upgraded to black card.
You know, like, oh, man.
Suspended for a month.
All right, on to the other matches. We've talked about the PGMOL enough. On to the other matches. Everton 3, Bournemouth 0. Holy crap. Good on Everton. Maybe they are going to stay up. That was Bournemouth is good for a couple stinkers, though.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not convinced, but I did not have that. Oh, by the way, we don't have the scores. We've both been incredibly busy, if you haven't been able to tell. I did very poorly. I know I got to the top of the charts. Thank you to all my fans out there. We're not there anymore. In fact, I think I'm the farthest away from first that I've been all season after this week because I had a horrible match week. Also leading into Chelsea 4, Burnley 1. I know Burnley's up, and I know they're not looking good, but Chelsea found some scoring boots.
Who was it? Cole Palmer got his first Prem goal with Chelsea. They gave him a freebie. It was a pen. And
same with Kai. So I'm not going to complain about that.
No, of course not. Why would you? But Chelsea, they did what they had to do. I think they got sick and tired of playing down. They finally played Chelsea's play style. Or so it seems right now at this point. But
it will be interesting to see what happens on Saturday. Because Chelsea have Arsenal.
All right. I was like, why does it sound
And
familiar?
If Chelsea continue to play up, that could be a brutal match. Even last year when Chelsea was bad, the Stamford Bridge match was very, very tight. And this is going to be a Stamford Bridge match again. It's 12:30 Saturday. It's 12:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really interesting match, I think. I don't know if Chelsea has it. I know Arsenal's going to be pretty well rested. We didn't really have guys play in the international break. But it will be an interesting litmus test because Chelsea's starting to score and starting to go the way up, but it's been teams like Burnley, so
how far are you really?
Yeah, well, and we this got brought up a lot in the whole Arsenal fans were trying to understand Kai Havertz and why did we sign him? And it got brought up a lot. Play him against top 10 teams and or play him against bottom 10 teams and not against top 10 teams. It's like, yeah, no, that's great. Here's the problem. You don't know who they are until you're at least halfway through the season. And we are in match week 8. And Chelsea has spent too much money to finish bottom half the table again. Yep. And I think that there are teams that are just going to be worse. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a 15 or 20 point difference between the top 4 or top 5 and everyone else.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for the Chelsea match. Fulham 3, Sheffield United 1. The Blades. I feel so bad for them. Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest go 0-0. Brighton, Liverpool 2-2.
Yep.
I know how Woodsy feels.
Not well.
No. I will say this. That should have been a penalty. Jesse Marsch pulled someone down in the box, and that should have been a penalty. My only caveat is that is kind of a little bit to reference John Madden. You could call holding on every play if you wanted to in football.
Yeah. Not
that open in the field, but on every corner, you could call a penalty on someone pulling someone down in the box like that.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't know. I thought it was a pen. I really did.
Man, it all, again, like you said, it's under the discretion of who's
reach over someone's shoulder, grab them here, pull them back. Did he go down easy? Yeah. Did the guy grab him by the chest and pull him back? Also, yes. And you and I both defended.
Hold on.
You know that there's a world of difference between this, where you just shove just a little bit of this.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah. The
second the arm gets extended out. If I need to get around you, if I do this with my elbow and just wonk you back, we'll never get called. We'll never once get called. Yeah. If I grab you over the shoulder with my arm like this and pull you back, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's a pen to me. As much as that hurts my feelings to say as a defender.
I don't know. I'm happy with the score line as it was.
You want to explain what happened with Wolves? Is Wolves a good team?
No. Wolves
they beat City 1 week. They beat City 1 week. They draw Villa the next. That sounds like a good team to me.
They're not a good team.
Sounds like a good team, Aaron.
It's the
Those are 2 good teams they got results against. I'm giving Aston Villa compliments. Just take it.
Oh. They're not a good team.
Jesus.
That match was painful to watch, and yeah, I'm okay. Villa don't play well at the Marleau anyway, so the fact that
it's
just the Marleau because
I like saying it.
I know it's fun to say.
I love Wolves.
I hate playing that.
Wolves has helped me so much.
It's like
beating City, stopping Liverpool from going invincible. Wolves has a special place in my heart.
They're like your version of Everton for me. Or at least for Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Wolves still have Gary O'Neill, and they're not that great at attacking either. So
Wolves, I love this so much. This is such a wonderful stat. Wolves have played 8 matches. Don't look at the table. Don't look at the table. How many points do you think they have?
Wolves?
Yep.
8.
8 from 8. 1 in a draw against Villa, and 3 more beating City. Half their points have come from the last 2 matches. Oh, this is so weird.
You want to bring up the other stat since I did bring up Everton? Do you remember?
Which stat is that?
Do you don't remember it?
Which stat? Remind me.
XG.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go.
This.
We're going in a little tailspin right now. It's fine. Just follow us.
No, I forgot about this. I forced this out of my brain. But we're going to bring it up.
Hold on. Speaking of follow us, if you don't already, please follow us, like and subscribe.
We're normally better at this. It's been a week.
We took a break.
We took a break. Both my kids have been sick for 2 weeks, and Lila went into teething. I got to bed around 1:30 last night.
Not yay.
No, which I know doesn't. Oh, that's not that bad. It's that bad when you've been getting to bed as late as I have. But anyway, you didn't come into the Conway bitching hour. You came in to listen about this. Here's the stat.
Yeah.
For longtime listeners, you will know how Aaron and I feel about XG.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the stat that proves it. Through the first 8 matches, Everton have a higher XG than Manchester City.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That don't make no sense. It cannot be right. XG is broken.
It's just they're getting better quality shots from 6 yards and in. That's really what it comes down to. They're getting corners. They're getting fouled from, and they're pumping it in the box. They're getting
penalties. I don't know.
They're getting James Tarkovsky and Decore, and now Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Onana to head it down.
Okay, so explain this to me. How does Everton have more XG than Manchester City?
They're getting
Holland has missed 14 big chances this season.
Open play.
Everton cannot be. They cannot.
No, seriously. Think about
it. Then the definition of a big chance is wrong.
Probably. I don't know what it is, to be honest.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what it is either. But that's a rough stat, man. That's rough. Also, Everton, fixture finishing. You have an XG of like 16.5, and you have 9 goals. That's bad.
They're kind of getting it together. I don't know.
Sheffield United are 8 games into the season. They have a goal difference of -16.
Yikes.
Luton's also out of the relegation spots.
All right. So what is considered a big play? That is not
big chance.
That is soccer. They give me football,
big
by
chance.
the way.
Big chance soccer. Give me that definition. While he's looking up the definition, Newcastle, West Ham 2-2, and I think that's it. I think that's all that we have to go over. Did
we not go over Luton Town and Spurs?
Oh, we didn't go over Luton Town and Spurs, but I was going to wait for that while you find out what the definition of a big chance is.
So Opta defines it a situation where a player should reasonably be expected to score.
What is that? Like a expected goal of 0.5, of 0.75?
Usually, so it's up to interpretation, essentially. Usually in a 1-on-1 scenario or from a very close range, when the ball has a clear path to the goal and there's low to moderate pressure on the shooters. Penalties are always big chances. So again, it's up to
they're just not giving a number at all. It's like an error rule, but I feel like we agree more on those in baseball than we would ever agree on what a big chance is. And
yeah, because personally, any shot on goal is a big chance. The goalkeeper can make an error.
But reasonably expected to score.
Yes, that is.
I would argue breakaways and penalties are the only big chances that could exist.
What if you received a ball at 18 yards out and you had nobody on you within 5 yards?
Is that
and you put it on net? Is that a big chance?
I don't know. Where do you put it on?
Because you're reasonably expected to score from 18 yards out with 5 yards of space.
Soccer stats are dumb.
It is very flexible.
Sorry, football stats are dumb. They are. That's dumb. That's like asinine. That's bad.
It's weird.
Anyway, Luton Town Spurs. Not exactly reminiscent of what Spurs has done lately.
No, correct.
They had a red card and 0-0 at the half, and it looked bad. It looked dire. It looked Eric Dyer. But they ended up 1-0. And Spurs, they're ahead on goal difference. Well, not even that's not true. Spurs sit first, and they sit first over this entire international break, and they absolutely deserve to, as much as that hurts me to say. They have a goal difference of 10, same as Arsenal. They have 20 points, same as Arsenal. They have not lost a match, same as Arsenal. Mm-hmm. But They've scored 2 more goals. Obviously, I think that it should be who's conceded the least amount of goals.
That's an interesting take.
Well, yeah, that's because that's Arsenal. If Arsenal had scored more goals, I'd say it should whoever scored more goals. But they're doing wonders. And again, Ange Postecoglou is your manager of the month. And I don't see how it's not deserved. What this man has done to this team that no one expected anything of, to lose Harry Kane, to not be able to invest any of that money, to have your director of football be in jail, to have Richarlison be your talisman. I mean, he's not. It's Maddison. And Maddison is good, and we've all known that. And I feel a little bit vindicated in saying, like, I've always loved Maddison, and I'm glad he's finally giving a position to thrive.
Yep.
But Ange Postecoglou has won the manager of the month for the first 2 months, and it is the most deserved awards that I've seen. He deserves every inch of it. And to do it with Daniel Levy hanging over you, too. There's always that issue.
Everybody here had a 3. Hold on, not true. Klopp did lose a match, and so did Eddie Howe. But at least picked up 3 to 4. Or no, I'm sorry, I did that math wrong. 9 to 10 points. So
Arteta, goal difference of +7, 3, 1, and 0. Emery, 3, 0, and 1 with a goal difference of +5. Eddie Howe, 3, 0, and 1 with a goal difference of +9. Mm-hmm. Klopp, 3, 0, and 1 with a goal difference of +6. And Ange with 3, 1, and 0 with a goal difference of +5. But okay, so all right, Eddie Howe had the biggest goal difference. That's good. Arteta had a better goal difference than Ange with the same amount of points. You could argue that they faced easier, harder competition. Tottenham didn't have a match like Arsenal did against Bournemouth, where they just throttled a team. You can argue all those things, but what Ange is doing with this Spurs team,
I don't have a problem.
Oh my God, it's so impressive.
I think giving it to him this month compared to last month is more acceptable, personally, because
it was Burnley United, the 2-2 North London derby draw.
Yep.
And the Liverpool match. And I know how we feel about the Liverpool match, and people are going to say that he shouldn't have won the match, and all these things happened.
But they still won the match. So
they still won the match. And to have this Spurs team have that kind of mentality is incredibly impressive.
Yep.
And secondly, while I think that anyone who has ever watched this game can look at that Spurs-Liverpool match and know that Liverpool was the better team, Spurs did exactly what you need to do to put yourself in the best position to win. And that's what Ange does with his teams. I didn't know if he was going to be able to do it in the Prem. Right. But so far, he's proving he is able to do it.
I think a part of the problem is we saw how Gerrard got called down from the Scottish Prem, and it
the people saying look what he did in the Scottish Prem kind of made me go, I don't care.
Right.
And the fact that he was going to a Spurs team that looked to be in crisis makes me think I don't care. Mm-hmm. I think in the long term, I'm still think Spurs fans should be worried because
you still need a top goal scorer. Sorry.
And I do have to wonder, is Daniel Levy going to look and say, oh, we've done enough? We're fine.
Just straight up be complacent about it and be like,
this is great. We're fine. If they finish top 4 this year, it could screw them. I mean, what screwed them in the Poch era? They didn't get any new blood in.
Yep.
Poch brought that team up. He ran them into the ground. They were a very good team. They were very technically sound. Mm-hmm. They performed very well. They got to a Champions League freaking final. They were a very good team, but they were a team of like 11 guys and nothing else. And he ran them into the ground, and they never brought in any new blood. Yep. And some of the new blood that Spurs have brought in since then has not been that good. I don't understand how the world is so divided on Christian Romero. I do not think he is dog shit, but I do not think he is as good as people make him out to be.
Yeah, mediocre is good with me.
Emerson Royale, I don't care that he's had a couple good games. He's shown his colors a lot. I don't think you can trust him.
He's had too many.
Richarlison will never put a good string of games together. Heung-min Song is better. Yes, absolutely, but he's getting older and he doesn't have Harry Kane anymore.
That's not true. Remember last season?
He's getting younger?
No, well, so
how is he getting younger?
In Korea, they had that whole what was it? They changed something with their birthdays. So he actually
oh god, I don't want to hear
he went
this.
from 31 to 30
no,
or
no,
something.
No, that's not how that works. Your knees do not feel better. I would go forge a birth certificate right now to get my right knee from making noise. Does not get any better.
Nah.
Again, I'm not. Maybe some of this may be copium because I don't want Spurs to be this good. I think Spurs definitely does not. They do not have the legs this year. They do not have enough. They cannot maintain this. I think that it's still a bit of a pipe dream that they're going to maintain top 4. But if Daniel Levy chooses to start to be intelligent about how he gets players, I become very worried. Because I think they have the manager who knows how to make more out of less.
They went and signed Johan Lang from Villa too, the technical director.
Oh yeah.
So I know he's not filling the corrupt Italian guy, but
the corrupt Italian guy. Ooh. Speaking of corrupt Italians, what a segue.
Who?
What a segue. All right, riddle me this. Sandro Tonali, Zalino, and Fagioli are all investigated for gambling. Mm-hmm. Which one of those 3 do you think doesn't get a ban?
Probably Tonali.
The one who's being paid by an entire country?
The one that actually admitted to gambling.
Yeah, the one who has the most concrete evidence. Oh my god. Did Pirlo gamble? Is this still a Pirlo thing? He's just a Pirlo regen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? Because he's a midfielder from Italy with a big nose, so he's a Pirlo regen. Oh my god. I feel bad for Newcastle fans, man.
Why?
Because when City fans got what they got, it was so new and no one yelled at the white guy doing it, so you couldn't yell at the brown people doing it, right? And for what it's worth, I was yelling about the Russian oligarch paying for a team with blood money. But now that Newcastle's the second one through the door, everyone's just crapping on them immediately. And they're not even getting the success that City got. And I would hate if this happened to Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
I was Kroenke out for a while, and he's an American. He's as American as apple pie, and I didn't want him in there. I don't know what I would do if Saudi Arabia bought Arsenal. I
get a bunch of money, I guess. I don't know.
I feel bad for Newcastle. But I wouldn't be a fan of it. I feel bad for Newcastle fans because that's such an existential crisis.
Yeah.
I want to keep supporting my team because it's my team, damn it. We've talked about this. Yeah. There's City, the entity owned by a country that, by the way, doesn't let anyone vote. It's not even like they won't even let women vote. It's like, no, they won't let anybody vote. And then there's City, the blue side of Manchester, made up by people who actually care. And I understand I root for Arsenal and not for Birmingham City, right? And that's because they were a better team and therefore they got more media coverage. And in a way, someone could argue that was glory hunting. But I don't think that Manchester City fans have to only come from the blue side of Manchester. But there are those people that have been those fans for the long time. You and I know one of them. He goes to the beer garden. Mm-hmm. By the way, he was like the only one I really congratulated after the treble win because I knew how much it meant to him. Because he grew up just getting crapped on and dunked on by, Manchester United players. And I just feel bad for Newcastle fans because they're probably going to see their team lift silverware in the next couple of years. And they're never going to get the ability to enjoy it.
Probably not.
Not truly, not fully.
Not in the pure sense, anyway.
I mean, when the Aguero goal happened, we were all just so anti-United. And it was a beautiful moment. And it was climactic. Like, City fans still got that.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Wow.
Yeah, oh well. All right, you got any true falses for me?
True or false? Ange will win the manager month for the third month in a row.
Let me see. Who are they playing?
I don't know. I
Who
just
are they playing? Who are they playing? I could see it. If they have big wins against Fulham and Crystal Palace, yeah, he could go for 3 for 3, 9 points.
Yep.
The only reason why I'm going to say false is because if Arteta and Arsenal beat City and Chelsea and Sheffield United, because I believe that's who we have this month. Yeah, City, matches? Chelsea, Sheffield United. Yeah, because the international break.
Oh. Well,
so
personally.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was October, so it was September 30th, October 1.
Yeah.
Was match week 7. Oh. Then 8 was the 7th and 8th. Then you have the 21st, 22nd, and the 29th and 30th.
Gotcha.
Or 28th and 29th. So yeah, you only have 3 matches in October. If Arsenal beat Chelsea, then no, I think it'll be Arteta, because Arteta will go 3 for 3 against Chelsea, City, and Sheffield United, probably. But I don't know. I would hope so, but damn.
Yeah.
If Arsenal falter against Chelsea and Tottenham get big wins, I could totally see it. I'm going to go with false, but I could see it. Okay. Not a bad get. All right. I love doing this. I think I might do this once a week because this is so much fun. Not in this order, but the top 5 will remain the same top 5 at the end of the year.
I hate this because I want to say true every time because Villa's up in the 5th position.
Oh, I love doing it to
you. Oh man. God, false. I don't think Villa's got the depth to really. They've got too many injuries, and I think they're going to chase a trophy instead of top 5. Although they have been playing domestically incredibly well. Forget about any cups that they've tried. Like domestically, Unai's got them on schedule.
But. See, and I don't agree. I think Tottenham are going to drop just because of depth. Next year, who knows? I don't trust Brighton.
They're a little wishy-washy.
I think West Ham's punching above their weight. I think Newcastle's probably punching a little bit below. However, the way Eddie Howe likes to play, I think that the extended time at the end of matches, the extended stoppage time, I think is going to screw with them. I could see Tottenham dropping out.
Yeah.
Newcastle coming in and it staying that way. I do not see this United team finishing in the top. If Chelsea have actually found their scoring boots, yeah. You don't spend $1 billion or euros or whatever they spent.
I think it's still $1 billion for.
It's $1 billion. Anyway. $1 billion is $1 billion.
Yep.
Anyway, what else you got?
True or false? De Zerbi leaves. De Zerbi gets bought by another Premier League team. No, gets sent to another Premier League team. I mean, they got to buy him, so transferred. We'll say transferred.
I'm going to say false because I think he wants to stay in Brighton.
Fair enough. They put a lot of stock in him, so I mean,
I could totally see him jumping ship to I could see Chelsea or United wanting him.
Yes.
I could see him, especially after what happened to Graham Potter, not going.
God, no. I think though.
Apart from that, I don't see anyone actually looking for managers. Spurs is set, Arsenal set, City set, Liverpool set. Villa has to be incredibly happy with Emery.
Can't confirm.
West Ham, I don't think he's going to leave Moyes. Newcastle is not. If Newcastle gets rid of Eddie Howe, it's not going to be for De Zerbi.
So I don't think it's Moyes that leaves. I think it's West Ham separate from Moyes.
But even then, I don't see De Zerbi going from Brighton to a team that finished 17th.
And that's fine.
Regardless of whether or not they won a conference league.
I agree with you. And I'm just saying that if those two scenarios were to happen, I think it's West Ham leaves Moyes over Moyes leaving West Ham.
Well, and there is a little bit of I would like to imagine, especially for the Spurs friend I have. By the way, congratulations, Malcolm. Happy wedding.
Congratulations.
I would like to think that Ange sat down with Daniel Levy and was like, if I'm going to succeed where all these other managers have failed, it's because we have to have a different relationship.
Sure.
I don't see you getting that at Chelsea.
No. You get the leash is right there. Like they're
and I don't And I don't see you getting that at United.
No, God, no. I mean, not everyone, but there has been multiple outlets and even us talking about whether Ten Hag is even going to make it to Christmas. You know?
And why do I think that I'm going to go to Chelsea and succeed under a Bowley? Tuchel won the Champions League. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
But after that and after Bowley, how am I going to succeed where Tuchel and Graham Potter and assuming that Poch failed, also Pochettino have failed? I'm going to walk in there and be like, I'm the guy who's going to be different. I don't see De Zerbi being that guy.
Much like everybody, how every player has had the wool pulled over their eyes and they believe in whatever project that Chelsea is selling. By project, I mean the gobs of money that gets slammed on the table. Then that's the way he gets it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's money.
Do you think he's righteous? Not righteous, but what's the word I want to use? Help me out here. Noble enough?
It's not even have to be noble. So we were talking about the whole Kylian Mbappe thing in the chat a lot. When Mbappe was talking about he wasn't talking. When it was being talked about Mbappe going to Saudi Arabia for a year, and it was like $1 billion contract for a year. Yep. And I threw all the money out about how much he would make if he went to Real Madrid instead. If he goes to Real Madrid and he wins the Champions League next to Jude Bellingham, he would be in Michael Jordan endorsement mode. Okay. Right? So how much more money would you actually be making in Saudi Arabia versus potentially for that scenario, which I understand one's a thing that's for sure and the other one's one that's not. And then he decided not to go, and everyone credited him on how strong of a person he was to deny that money. For you and I, $1 billion is a lot, right? It's a lot of money. For you and I, even $500,000 is a lot of money.
Bro, $20,000.
And there are jobs that you and I would do. Well, I mean, I'm talking about a salary. I'm talking about life-changing. You would be willing to do almost anything.
Yes, okay. For
$500,000, right? Oh, I don't care if you guys firebomb villages. It's $500,000. And I'm not saying that you and I are that way, but no, the threshold's smaller.
Yep.
My argument is that your threshold becomes so much bigger the more money you make. So you're talking about, do you think De Zerbi would be so noble to not take the more money? If you're already being paid $500,000 to do a job in a location that you love, surrounded by people who support you on a project that you're building, do you go jump into a dumpster fire just because it's $750,000?
Probably not.
You're already making $500,000. So all right. Oh, they'll offer you 7.5 or 10, and you're already making 5. It's like, I'm already making $5 million.
Yep.
I'm okay. And I feel like that's where a lot of people end up. I think that Guardiola followed money in a lot of ways. I think Guardiola also likes to win and likes to be at a place where he knows he's going to be able to buy the players he needs.
He wants to be the guy.
And happens to also be the places with the money.
How strange.
But he can also buy the players he needs.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Jose Mourinho wants to be able to coach wherever he wants to coach. Zinedine Zidane wants to manage Real Madrid or nothing. Maybe the French national team. And, because he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
The last thing he needs is money. He shows up, he wins 3 Champions Leagues, and he disappears. Why? Because he's done. I don't want to do this anymore. But what about the money? What about the money? I don't care. We're so used to man, if only I had more money. For these people, it's like, man, what do I actually want to do with myself?
Yeah.
Eddie Howe. Oh, Eddie Howe only went to Newcastle for the money. Eddie Howe was given a project and a checkbook and went after it. Yes, he had money. Good for him.
But also that team was 18th.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm saying that on the other side, it's not. He went to a country that has all, a team that's owned by a country that has a whole slew of problems. But that's not what factored in. I think what factored in with Eddie Howe making that decision was, I'm going to be given the ability to build the team I want to build and prove that I know how to coach and have a chance to go win the trophies that everyone talks about winning.
Bournemouth wasn't a fluke. I kept them up with the limited resources I was given.
And I'm never winning the Prem. We're going to the Champions League in a stadium that fits, 19,000 people.
Yeah.
Or I could go to the historic team of Newcastle and play at St. James's Park, which I think the Athletic article just voted it like the 3rd best stadium in the Premier League. And it for me, it made sense. You get to ignore the other side.
Right.
I guess my thing is, it's not all about the money.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm cool with that.
All right. That is it. I got to get back in the car and go back and do work stuff.
Yes, you do.
This one's tasty, though, so it's okay. I guess I'll feed the cats, too.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Should I feed the cats?
It's 50-50. Were they good today?
I don't know. No one
Well, no puke is a good day, personally.
Yeah, but I wasn't really around to find puke.
So then it's... Hold on.
They hit it well?
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
That's not necessarily good. It depends where they hit it. If they hit it down the back of one of the couch cushions, not good. Not good.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch.
All right. This has been Swinging at Shins. We talked about quite a lot of stuff. If you're still here, please like, subscribe, and follow. Aaron actually remembered, I think for the first time in Swinging Shins history, to do that in the middle.
You weren't on. It was Woodsy and I slipped it in there too.
Aaron's got it. Aaron's getting better at this. Keep an eye out on the Instagrams. Keep an eye out on Instagram. We're going to be dropping our predictions. Yes. Not that we apparently have any idea what we're talking about.
That's not true. I do.
After last week, I had Arsenal winning. Not with that scoreline, but I had them winning.
You got a point for that one.
I think that was one of my 3 points.
Yeah, I think you picked up 4 or 5.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't. That's fine.
Anyway, we will see you guys on the other side of match week 9.
Yes. Toodles.
God, this season's it takes so long.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, peace.
Bye. Well, guys, that was an episode of Swinging at Shins. We appreciate you for coming out and listening to us. If you guys want to hear or see more, we have links in the description below. We hope to hear from you soon and hear more about what you have to say.